Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic, and this is another reaction to Nisemonogatari. It will be episode 10, and you know what to do as always. If you want to see the reaction, go down into my descriptions and replace the circumflex dot parts with real dots and enjoy the reaction. Once you've done, feel free to come back here, hear out my thought about this episode. So, see you soon. For those that came back, welcome back. Now, that escalated quickly. That was a fast one. I did not see this coming in the last episode. It was pretty clear in this one. However, mainly because someone wrote it down in the last episode and commented on the fact that in the intro, somewhere in the talk, it was mentioned that the little sister is immortal. And by that, you can guess the rest. That might have been a little bit of spoiler because I didn't see it myself, but in the end it was not a big one because I was already aware that she is the Phoenix, you know? We have seen it in the intro picture as well, so, and I know the Phoenix as being an immortal creature, so. It made it a bit easier for me though for this episode to get exactly where the two girls are heading to. I mean, not so much of a surprise. Just that the fact that they went in instantly was surprising. But let's get through this episode one by one, shall we? So, we had a lot of interaction between Araragi, Koyomi, and Shinobu this time, which is interesting to me because if you see from the Bakemonogatari series to now, there was a lot of change in their relationship, in the meaning of that she gets way more active by now. In Bakemonogatari, she was always sitting in the corner and not talking a lot, not doing much. But we learned later on that this is partially because he ignores her, and she's someone who's not to be ignored. I like the interaction between those two. She behaves sometimes like a little child, you know, when it comes to donuts and the like. But sometimes shows him very clear his bounds, where he's not allowed to do more. She's very clear about the fact that she's not to be used like a tool, as she said this episode. So she convinced him to go to the donut shop because there is an offer for, I think it was 100 yen a donut, and she was going crazy about it. And pointed out that she doesn't need sun lotion or whatever because she's not a real vampire at the moment, so not anymore. Not a complete one, so she is not dying from the sun. She just takes a head, which fits her perfectly. It just looks nice. We then had a little talk with Tsukihi, with the little sister, where she made clear that the Fire Sisters might be about to split up because she doesn't feel this sense of justice that her sister has. Now seeing that there seems to be something happening when it comes to the Phoenix, that the Phoenix took over her body or infested her somehow, it might be this decision was made due to this effect. Not sure, however. I think we will learn about it. So she even stated, so in some ways she might be a fake. When it comes to the things that Yuzuru Kagenui said later on, she is a fake. So she was replaced. The question here is she replaced completely? So is it even a different body? If so, where is the original? Or is it just that the Phoenix overtook the body and is like the pilot inside, deciding what's going on, where to go and everything. So he realized that the scar was gone and undressed her completely, more neither, and checked for the scar and then used the opportunity, as always, as he is, a typical brother that we know, to touch his sister. What the heck is wrong with him? Well, I didn't know both sisters had boyfriends. That was not explained before. She stated that the boyfriend of Karin, of the bigger sister, is not happy right now, so they are about to split up. Which is interesting if you see that at the same time the Kambaru and Karin relationship kind of starts. So maybe there is something going on happening more. Would be nice, as I said. And then they went to the donut shop, which is where I took this picture. I like the fact that he tried to, you know, like you can only have 3 donuts and we will come here once a month. So it's like, well, on the one hand, he tries to be nice. Like, I know that you like it, so we will make it like a family dinner, something like that. But on the other hand, he tries to limit her, which makes sense. I mean, it's about money as well. And she is partially behaving like a child, and you have to limit children when it comes to sweets and the like, or they will just explode. And then she did, which I found hilarious. She threatened him, and they stood like cowboys in the Wild West going for gun shooting, and even the tumbleweed was there. I really liked it. I just missed like this whistle effect that you have at this is da da da. Just missing that. So they agreed on 5 each, which brings me to the interesting question. So she can appear and disappear. She's a ghost in the end. Kind of, you know? She's living in his shadow. I'm not sure if other people see her. How can she eat if she's living in his shadow or inside him? Will it affect if she gets more voluptuous, you know? Those are things I'm like, I don't know. Haven't discussed that one. Right now she can slip in and out of shadows and is traveling in the shadows next to him. I think it is more that she's bound to him, has to be near him somehow. So I guess she has like a physical body, at least she has a shadow here, which is interesting as well. So she can go into shadows and has her own shadow. Then there's a shadow of her in the shadow that she's in. Think about it. However, he tried to get some information from her about those 2 girls we've met last time, which was more neither the way I thought. So, not perfectly. I was like, the female is like a bit like an Oshino version, Oshino meme, and the little one, Yotsugi, is maybe a bit like Shinobu in the meaning of the little and silent one following. We now know it's more like a master and servant, or that she's like a familiar for a wizard or sorcerer. And there was a word for it, Shikigami. Okay, so interesting. It was close to what I thought, and she is kind of a bit like Oshino. She even knows him, as we know now. And when he wanted to learn more, she said, why don't ask this guy over there? And I was like, okay, his reaction was clear, so it could have been only Yoshino Meme or Kaiki. Seeing the way he reacted, it had to be Kaiki. Otherwise, he would have been just, you know, surprised, but not like that, negatively. So it was Kaiki in his suit, sitting there eating donuts, which is just weird. I can completely understand his reaction. It just looks strange when he does it. On the other hand, it would have been interesting. I mean, I had the question, where does all the money go that Kaiki earns? Maybe for donuts. Maybe, just maybe, he has some kind of a bound ghost spirit, whatever thing with him as well, that swallows the money. I don't know. Might be. So he asked him and was ripped off. Not much of a surprise by Kaiki, so he took all his money. And gave him, well, at least a bit of information, you know, about who they are, what I just discussed. It's a bit, but the important one thing here is they are specialized in hunting immortals, which is just by word, and killing immortals, I guess. Just by definition, not logical, because if they're immortal, you cannot kill them. Immortal means you cannot die. So they mean more like long-living creatures that do not die in normal ways. But that's the problem with the word immortal already, you know. So that's why they're here, and I'm not sure why they went to the school first. I guess it was because it's a place of Oshino, just guessing. And then they went for the house of the Araragis, so this is where we meet again. Ghostbusters, yeah. I realized some things, however, about Araragi and Shinobu. And there were multiple things. So when they were driving around on the bicycle, it was kind of a fitting picture. He's the one that is driving in the meaning of doing the work as well. And she's sitting in this, not sure about the word, in front of him. So in many ways, he's like the chauffeur who drives her around. On the other way, so it's he's a servant. On the other way around, he's the one that makes a decision where to go. He has the wheel, he has the direction option, and she has to sit in and let him decide. This is this very strange kind of who's the master, who's the servant here, which we had already in the past, and which was even discussed later on, where I wrote it down as well. Because when Araragi talked to Yozuru, he said, I know that you are here for me, and what did he say? No, you are here for her, meaning Shinobu, and for me, her servant. So he stated himself to be the servant of Shinobu. When Shinobu later on, however, referred to him, she said something to him, she referred to him as her master. So it's very strange, this relationship. Because both, the question is if Shinobu means it for real or if just playing and calling him master, but it is very much a give and take situation for both. So I think it is not clearly defined who has the upper hand. We discussed it in the past already. I think it depends very, very much on the situation and I guess on mental will. So as she said, if you will ever grow weak, I will kill you. I just found it very much of this in this episode, so that was interesting to me. Then Shinobu was referred to, and I really liked that because it was a very long sentence with a lot of names, where I'm not sure about all of them. So I checked it again, I wrote it down. It's the fact that Yozuru said she doesn't care about the iron blood, which could be human. Cold-blooded, which she was referring to Shinobu. So iron blood, she has iron in her blood. Cold-blooded and hot-blooded. So I guess like we guess about a vampire being angry very fast, which would be hot-blooded, but doesn't care about feelings of others in the typical vampire, Dracula and so on idea. So being cold-blooded. Killer of monsters, as we know, we've seen it. Lord of the Night, very fitting. It is a vampire. Kiss hot? No idea. Acerola Orion. I guess it's about Orions. I mean, isn't it garlic? I'm not sure about that one. This whole Kiss hot Acerola Orion, I have no clue what it means. Heart under blade. Well, that's a nice name. So that is what she used to call her, to call Shinobu. And she said this problem, this situation is already solved. Well, yeah, I guess that's something that happened in the past between the two. Araragi and Shinobu, and possibly Oshino Meme as well. However, that's a strange name. A cool name, but there's so much in it which I don't understand. So if it's not spoiler, please be aware of that. You're very well welcome to comment what this name exactly means. Well, however, we were in front of the house of the Araragis, and when his little sister opened the door, they just blasted her away. Mainly Yotsugi did it, alone, by growing her finger into some kind of huge smashing tool. I have no clue what that was. And she simply punched the head and upper torso away from Tsukihi. So that's it normally. I mean, you're done. You're dead. She regenerated that. So there are many things here. If you're talking about regeneration, it takes time. It takes volume. You need something that you can grow new stuff out of. And in like 90% of the cases, in case of regenerating living beings, you need a head, which wasn't there. So she regenerated from her legs, which is okay, powerful. I wouldn't have been surprised if she would have been turned into ashes and then came out of the ashes again. This is what the phoenix does, you know? When it dies, it burns completely out and it falls into ashes. So the phoenix itself, the bird, turns into a pile of ash. And out of this pile, a new phoenix is born. Possibly smaller one, growing over time. No clue. Wasn't this one completely here. But it brings the interesting question, which we always have with trolls and stuff alike that have regenerative powers. So if they would have cut her in two, you know where I'm going. Okay, so she is immortal, kind of. I'm not sure if she's aware of it. So coming back to the scar, her brother realized that she doesn't have the scar anymore, which means multiple things. She had the scar in the past, possibly not so long ago. Which means until this moment she was the normal little sister. And then the phoenix got somehow involved. And the phoenix heals everything back to the perfect normal state. Where always is the interesting question, does it allow the body to change? Because when you grow up, your body changes. You grow. So what does the phoenix exactly do? Does it keep your body in like a stasis in this moment? So would she always be this age and this look? Or does it allow it to grow in a normal way? And how does it realize it? Is it really the body of his sister? Or is it a copy, like a clone that the phoenix created, like a clone version? Where's the real one? Is she still alive? If it is a real body, does the soul, the inner being of his sister, is she kind of trapped somewhere inside, you know, screaming and not getting out? Or is she living normally, really thinking it is her, completely without being influenced? And just in case she's dying like it happened here, or something else happens, the phoenix takes over in form of a regeneration. If so, what is the benefit he has from it, he or she? I mean, might be a female phoenix as well. It might be a little bit like with Shinobu here, so that the phoenix is using the body of the girl as like a vessel to carry her around until the phoenix is, I don't know, strong enough or whatever to leave. However, Yozuru stated that the phoenix is evil because it is a fake. It acts as though it is a person that isn't there, which would mean it is not really the sister anymore. We discussed this on other series in the past. Thinking about one specifically right now with a little cat, about what is good and what is evil. It is not easy. It's in the eye of the one that's looking on. So in the eyes of Yozuru, the phoenix might be evil. In the eye of Araragi right now, the phoenix might be good, because if that was the body of his sister, it was good that the phoenix was in. Otherwise his sister would be gone right now. So what's good, what's bad? What are the reasons? We will see. I'm not sure about that one. We have one more episode left on Nisemonogatari, so I guess we will come to a conclusion here. As it seems to a very fast one, which is not a typical thing. And then we will see where we are going next. Interesting, all in all. There was one thing, however, in the end that was more surprising even than that, and that was the fact that Shinobu actively did something. So she stood herself in the way of the Exorcists, defending the sister, possibly because she was very well aware that Araragi wouldn't stop otherwise. I guess it might very well be that Araragi would have died there, because he would have gone even more crazy. So maybe it was some kind of self-defense, but maybe it was because she really wanted to help Araragi. Can't be sure about that. Both options are there. Yuzuru called her bluff. I'm not sure if she really knew it was a bluff, or if she just was like, not get any risks in. They have 1 day now, so no idea where we are going. Whatever it will be, we will have possibly a standoff next time. Either Araragi can find a solution for the Phoenix problem himself, so they don't have to kill his sister, or he will have to somehow be able to convince them to find a solution together. Right now, it doesn't seem like they are easily convinced. That's it for this time. 1 more episode to go. I hope you liked that one, and yeah, I will see you the next time. Please feel free to comment, like, and subscribe as always. Please be aware that I, while sitting around, refreshed my anime list accounts, so I will possibly post it in here as well, if you want to follow me there. And I tried to put in the series I've watched. I really try. It's not easy. And I will see you next time. Until then, my name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.